So the topic for today's presentation is, or the theme that we have chosen is driving sustainability, balancing productivity. And we have the stalwarts all here who are focusing on these two words, sustainability and productivity. If you have a high productivity, but if you are not sustainable, then also there is a problem. And if you are sustainable and if you are not productive, that means you are not meeting your top line and bottom line. So that's the reason we have chosen these two words. And this is a very hot topic. You have seen it in Europe, how things are unfolding. Majority of the factories are shutting down because of the sustainability factor coming into picture and also the energy cost. But in India, somehow, due to help from our friend Russia, we have been able to provide energy at a what we can say reasonable price so that the industry is able to balance and make profit as well as meet their top line. So we talk about the Indian agrochemicals market. Most of you would be aware about this data, but I thought of putting it in front of you so that you know, you get a glimpse of what's happening. So this agrochemical constitutes pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and insecticides. We have not included fertilizer in this part. And it plays a vital role in supporting country's agriculture-driven economy, which employs over 40% of India's workforce. Since it is 40%, this sector is of great importance to everybody, industry as well as government. Industry benefits from a robust domestic manufacturing base, low-cost production, and growing focus on generics and sustainable biologicals. What challenges we are facing? Raw material dependency on China, regulatory hurdles, example, toxicity bans, and global. So the topic for today's presentation is, or the theme that we have chosen is driving sustainability, balancing productivity. And we have the stalwarts all here who are focusing on these two words, sustainability and productivity. If you have a high productivity, but if you are not sustainable, then also there is a problem. And if you are sustainable and if you are not productive, that means you are not meeting your top line and bottom line. So that's the reason we have chosen these two words. And this is a very hot topic. You have seen it in Europe, how things are unfolding. Majority of the factories are shutting down because of the sustainability factor coming into picture and also the energy cost. But in India, somehow, due to help from our friend Russia, we have been able to provide energy at a what we can say reasonable price so that the industry is able to balance and make profit as well as meet their top line. So we talk about the Indian agrochemicals market. Most of you would be aware about this data, but I thought of putting it in front of you so that you know, you get a glimpse of what's happening. So this agrochemical constitutes pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and insecticides. We have not included fertilizer in this part. And it plays a vital role in supporting country's agriculture-driven economy, which employs over 40% of India's workforce. Since it is 40%, this sector is of great importance to everybody, industry as well as government. Industry benefits from a robust domestic manufacturing base, low-cost production, and growing focus on generics and sustainable biologicals. What challenges we are facing? Raw material dependency on China, regulatory hurdles, example, toxicity bans, and global price pressures. Let us now look from an international perspective and see where do we rank. It is the fourth largest producer of agrochemicals worldwide after US, China, and Japan, and it exports. In terms of export, we are the third largest position. So the market globally is around 287 billion in 2024 and estimated to be 308 billion in 2025. And these are the market sizes of different geographic regions. Asia Pacific, 94.7 billion, US, 58.8 billion, Europe, here we have taken European Union as well as UK into picture. So it is around 82.9 billion, China is 29 billion, Japan is 17.6 billion, India is 10.6 billion, South Korea is 9.6 billion. So if we look at this particular chart, we have to see how the South Korean and the Japan, being smaller countries, how they have performed in terms of the revenue. So we have to learn from these countries, the South Korea and Japan, because China is almost 2.9% ahead, almost 3x times. So these are the two countries that we need to follow and see how we can increase our revenue or increase the number of agrochemicals that we are talking about, both exports as well as domestic market. The source of this data is collected from authentic sources. We have taken from multiple sources, so we are not naming the source out here. Now come to the market size. We are at 10.6 billion as of FY 24-25 and a growth of 8.7% year on year, which is a very good growth that we are seeing. The domestic market size, 7.82 billion, FY 24. And here, the formulations is dominating at 49% of total value. Exports accounting for 51%. So since exports is more and domestic is less, so we are in a very good position from Piyush Goyalji's perspective, Ministry of Commerce perspective. In FY 25, India's agrochemical exports reached US $3.3 billion, nearly tripling from US 1.3 billion a decade earlier, which is FY 15, marking a moderate recovery from a 22% decline in FY 24 due to weak global demand and Chinese competition. Herbicides have been a standout, growing at 20% CAGR from FY 20 to 25, comprising 37% of exports, up from 31%. So the bright spot is the herbicide part of it. So what are the challenges that this industry has? As I said, import dependency. We are too much dependent on China, as we import about 50% of its technical grade active ingredients from China, creating supply chain vulnerabilities and price instability. So if China stops, our industry bleeds. So we have to do something so that we are not totally dependent on China. Raw material cost inflation. Rising cost of raw material further impacts the sector's profitability, and you would have seen logistics and supply chain play a very critical role. And if logistics and supply chain cost increases, automatically the raw material cost also increases. Logistics cost, inefficient logistics, including high transportation cost, delays at customs, affect the timely and cost-effective delivery of products. Complex registration, process for registering new agrochemical molecules is complex, costly, and time-consuming, which stifles innovation. Low R&D investment. We are presently investing just 1 to 2% of the turnover, and this is all about the large companies. Smaller companies invest even lesser than this, compared to developed countries where they are investing 5 to 10%, which is hindering the development of new and innovative products. So if we are looking at new molecule, if we are looking at molecules which will have a greater impact or specialized molecules for specialized crop, it would be beneficial for us. Environmental concerns. There are significant environmental concerns related to agrochemical use, such as water, air pollution, and soil degradation. Lack of awareness. Many farmers lack proper knowledge on the correct usage, dosage, and application timing of agrochemicals, often relying on traditional retail advice instead of scientific guidance. Misinformation and negative perception of agrochemicals limit their adoption and use, which you are aware, the parties who are involved in this misinformation. But without this, we will not be able to feed not only India, but we will not be able to feed the world also. So we cannot ignore agrochemicals. So let me brief you about the second part is about the different sessions that we are having. We are having 6 sessions. The first is on the inaugural session is on positioning India as a global manufacturing and export hub for agrochemicals. There is a session on developing climate resilient agrochemicals to address changing agricultural patterns. This year, with what we can say a lot of rains, a lot of crops had a problem. Even their yield reduced, and even the crop cycle has shifted. Navigating the changing landscape of patents and IPR, this is an important topic, and today everybody is out there at the DPIT meeting to see how they can balance the patent and IPR. But this is very much required, because if somebody invests in new molecules, they would like to see that they are being protected. And if it is not protected, then it becomes difficult for people to invest in R&D. Digital agriculture, precision farming, and farmer education. What we are seeing is, in this case, lot of startups are coming in, because earlier the focus of the startups were on fintech, they were focusing on AI, they were focusing on medical tech, edutech. But after the saturation of all these sectors, now we are seeing startups focusing on agriculture. And my wish is that if somebody can come up with a Google kind of for crop protection or for crop, it would be very useful for everybody, that by just putting their GPS location or putting their village and taluka, they will be able to know in which particular season, which crop will be, will they sow, so that they can get maximum benefit. Nobody has done, but if somebody can come up with this kind of a Google of say crop, that would be very useful. And we are seeing a lot of traction on the startup side, but still lot more needs to be done, because the focus is right now on after crop. Pre-crop, there are not too many startups, sir, but there are focusing on the raw material part of it. They are focusing on the accessories part of it. They are focusing on logistics and supply chain part of it, but not too many on the complete 360 pre-crop kind of a thing and during the crop season part of it. There is a session on growth of biologicals and biopesticides. We are seeing globally that at least 10% of the revenue of global companies, or more than that, is coming from biologicals and biopesticide. So this cannot be ignored, and it has to be looked by all the players in a big way. Definitely, since we are investing only 1 to 2% of our from our revenue or from our profit, so the role of academia plays a bigger role, because government is investing a lot in this academia. And if we want to hedge, the best way to hedge is tie up with academia. The academia needs to be also industry friendly. So if both of them come together and try to provide a new molecule at the earlier by using of advanced technologies like AI and others, it will be beneficial for everybody in the long run. These are the galaxy of speakers you have, around 35 of them. 34 of them, sorry. So positioning India as a global manufacturing and export hub. Professor Pillai was unable to join us because he had a meeting with the Secretary Education. Reliance is coming up with a Geo Institute. They are planning to transform this into a university, so he was not able to join. Deepak Shahji and Pradeep Daveji would be joining us after that meeting. So they have already informed us. And the rest of the people are out here. Nattu Bhai is here, then Chandrasekhar is here, and Dr. Manish is out here. Developing climate resilient agrochemicals to address agriculture patterns. So we have Mr. R.G. Agarwal, Mr. Manoj Varsani, Mr. Shukla would be there also part of the panel, Dr. Vishal Chaudhary, Dr. Kausal Visen, Dr. Subham Yadav, Then navigating the changing landscape of patents and IPR, we have Dr. Subhash Chandra from CBI, CIB and RC, Mr. Kuldeep Singh from HIL India, Mr. Rajesh Agarwal from Insecticides India, Mr. S. Ganeshan from UPL, Dr. Kalyan Goswami from ACFI, Mr. Hari Subramaniam from Subramaniam and Associates, and Mr. Raju Kapoor from FMC India. Digital agriculture, precision farming and farmer education, we have Mr. Harish Mehta from CCFI, Mr. Ajay Kakra from Forbis Majars, Ms. Vanshika Nyayati from Prime Group, Mr. Tajinder Chawla from Simplify, Mr. Marine Maria Abraham from SNP Global, and Mr. Avinash Naik from Kearney, India. Growth of biologicals and biopesticides, we have Dr. Archana Sinha from Joint Director Chem, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Dr. Shailendra Singh from Zydus, Mr. Srinivas Kumar Karavadi from Inera, Ms. Isha Sharma from Vyadrat and Trayam, and Mr. Shiran Chillapur from Kearney, India. Role of academia industry collaboration, we have Dr. A. Krishnaiya from CSIR IICT Hyderabad, Dr. Nand Kumar Kunchage from KJ Somaya Institute of Applied Agricultural Research, Murari Mohanjha, editor Indian Chemical News. So this slide is about what are the activities that we are doing. You would have seen chemical industry outlook. So which would be doing a 6th edition in 2026. So we thought, why not focus on hydrogen also? Why hydrogen? Because there are too many seminars, but there is no compendium in India right now which focus on hydrogen. So we thought to give a snapshot on what's happening. So we took that challenge, as we have been taking a lot of challenges in our last 6 years of transformation that we have focused on. So this is called the HIO, and this is our first edition which we are releasing in January during India Energy Week, where we are the media partners, and this event is happening at Goa. And the theme that we have chosen is transforming energy for a sustainable future. This is the 6th edition of Chemical Industry Outlook. All your kit has the Chemical Industry Outlook 2025, which is the 5th edition. Hope you will appreciate our effort, those who have not seen. So this year we are releasing in May, and this we will try to release during Gujarat Chem and Pet Chem conference, which we will do in May at Hayat, Bharuch. And the topic is fueling the future of industry. Coming to Gujarat Chem and Pet Chem conference, which is our 2nd edition. The 1st edition we had around 375 to 400 people participated, and we didn't have enough space because Hayat has a limitation. So we will try to make it bigger this time, and we are working on that. The topic that we have chosen is optimizing plant operations for efficiency and sustainability. And this is for, last year we got around 75 plant heads, sir. This year we are looking at 100+ plant head to participate in GCPC that we call Gujarat Chem and Pet Chem Conference. We need your help and support in this direction. And the last is about Next Gen Chemicals and Petrochemicals Summit. So this is also the 6th edition that we are doing. We are doing at the Leela, Bombay, 9th and 10th July. And the topic that we have chosen is react, create, and innovate. Because unless and until we react, and if we are docile, we will not be able to move forward. Because in this fast changing geopolitical situation, we have to react, and we have to react fast. Then, and I think Nattu Bhai would be aware, because he's spending most of his time in US nowadays. And with US tariffs still not being finalized, there was a tweet from our minister that very soon we are going to hear some good news. Piyush Goyal ji had tweeted. So I believe that good news should come in 2025 rather than in 2026. Create, as I said, why create? Because R&D, we are investing 1 to 2%. If we are investing 1 to 2%, that means we have to collaborate. Either, and we are seeing this happening even in the pharma sector. companies are coming together. They are not thinking whether they are big or small. They are coming together, trying to create the molecule. Once they create the molecule, the patent is for both the parties, or one party has the patent and the second party then uses the patent. So there can be different models with respect to the create and innovate. Definitely, if we do not innovate, we have seen the handset story. We have seen the mobile operator story. Vodafone, #1 in the world. Where is it now in India in terms of mobile services? You have seen Motorola, innovator of handset. Nokia, #1 position. But when the technology changes, they are not to be seen anywhere. So this is about the next gen. So we have to keep on illuminating our bulb in different ways. So initially each were fluorescent, but now it is LED, and very soon we will come up with new technologies. So we have to move fast with respect to technologies also at the same time. Just a brief about Indian chemical news stats. We presently send newsletter on a daily basis. So if you are not receiving newsletter, I would request, please go to our website, go to the bottom of the page, and please subscribe to the newsletter. It is free of cost. You will get Monday to Saturday. Only 3 holidays we don't send newsletters. Otherwise, we send newsletter daily. It's a combination of global, local, and all flavors of chemical, whether it is agrochemical, whether it is specialty chemical, whether it is leather chemical, whether it is paints, pigments. So we cover almost all flavors of chemicals you will get out here. And the page views around 240,000, users 102,000. Newsletter goes to 59,000 people daily. Open rate around 30%. Click rate is 88%. LinkedIn followers, no magic wand, it's just word to mouth. We are presently at 84,683, which is the highest in any chemical publication that you have in the country. So, and for this, it is your effort, word to mouth, that you have been able to subscribe to our newsletter, about our newsletter, and also the LinkedIn, so that you can get on a daily what's happening in the industry. So this is in a nutshell about Indian chemical news and about the session, and also about the AgroChem part of it. Thank you for patiently listening to my presentation.